Our next topic is meter bridge and uses of meter bridge. Now what is meant by meter bridge? In physics or in physics lab, we are always using meter bridge. Meter bridge, it is a simple device. It is a one type of simple device. It consists of one rectangular wooden frame. On this rectangular wooden frame, a uniform wire of 1 meter length is fixed between 2 points. And these 2 points are connected to the brass tips having 2 openings. This one is a simple device, and 1 meter scale is fixed along that wire, along the length of that wire. Using that meter scale, we can measure the distance between any 2 points of the wire. That is nothing but the meter bridge. Now, how we can use meter bridge for the different purposes? Now, meter bridge, it always works on the principle of Wheatstone's network. Therefore, that meter bridge also known as Wheatstone's meter bridge or meter bridge. Now, in 12th science, we are going to use meter bridge for 3 different purposes. Number 1, determination of unknown resistance. What I am telling, we can use Wheatstone's network or Wheatstone's network. In physics lab also, we are doing the same experiment by using the meter bridge. That means the determination of unknown resistance by using Wheatstone's meter bridge. Now for that, first we have to draw this diagram. Now, how we can determine unknown resistance by using meter bridge? For that purpose, here one circuit diagram is drawn. Now, this one is the basic simple diagram. Now, in this meter bridge used in the first gap of meter bridge or in the left gap of meter bridge, resistance or unknown resistance is connected. Then, in the right side gap or the second gap of the meter bridge, resistance box is connected. Then a cell of EMF E, key K, rheostat, they are connected in series combination between point A and B of meter bridge. Now galvanometer and here sliding jockey, they are connected to the point here point C and here point B. Now galvanometer and sliding jockey, that is connected to the point B of the meter bridge. Here cell is used just to supply the electric current that will be flow through the circuit. Then key, it is useful for just to close or open the circuit. The rheostat is connected here. It is just used to control the current flowing through the circuit. That means in the circuit diagram, a resistance whose value is to be determined, that resistance is connected in the left gap of the Wheatstone's meter bridge. Then standard resistance box is connected in the right gap of the meter bridge. Then cell, key, rheostat, they are connected as per the circuit diagram. This is about the construction of this circuit diagram. Now how it works? When key is kept closed, then current will flow through the circuit. Now move the jockey along the wire AC and try to find a point at which that galvanometer shows zero deflection or null deflection. Now at once that galvanometer says zero deflection, then we can say that this network is balanced. That is nothing but the balancing condition. Now according to Wheatstone's network, by the principle of Wheatstone's network in balanced condition, by the principle of Wheatstone's network in balanced condition, we can write x1 or capital X divided by R. X divided by R is equal to resistance of wire AD divided by resistance of wire CD or DC. Now see here, what we are doing, we are keeping this key closed, then current will move through the circuit. Now when current flows through the circuit, then standard value of resistance from the resistance box is taken out. Then move the jockey along the wire AC and try to find a point at which galvanometer shows zero deflection. At once that galvanometer shows zero deflection, then we can say that this network is get balanced. Now in the balanced condition, by the principle of Wheatstone's network, we can write here X divided by R means resistance taken out from the resistance box, then resistance of wire AD divided by resistance of wire CD. That means according to Wheatstone's network, we can write R1, R2, R3 and R4. And by using that, we can write here equation X by R is equal to this one. Now X divided by R is equal to, now resistance of wire AD. Suppose sigma is the resistance per unit length of this wire. What I am telling, if sigma is the resistance per unit length of the wire, then resistance of wire between point A and D, whose length is L1, then resistance of wire AD is equal to sigma into L1 divided by resistance of wire CD. Now length of wire CD is nothing but L2. If sigma is the resistance per unit length of the wire, then resistance of wire CD is nothing but sigma into L2. That means X divided by R is equal to L1 divided by L2. And finally, we can write X is equal to R into L1 divided by L2, or X is equal to R into L1 divided by 100 minus L2 means 100 minus L1. This is the equation for determination of unknown resistance by using meter gauge or by using Wheatstone's meter gauge. That means we can determine unknown resistance by using meter gauge concept. Now second application of meter gauge is that by using meter gauge we can determine resistance of galvanometer. Now for that, again we have to draw this circuit diagram. In the left gap of meter gauge, here galvanometer is connected. That in the right side or in the right gap of the meter gauge, resistance box is connected. Now here point A and point C, these are the 2 points of meter gauge. Now in the left gap of the meter gauge, galvanometer is connected whose resistance is to be determined. Then in the right gap of the meter gauge, resistor box is connected. Then a cell of EMF E, key K and rheostat, they are connected as per the circuit diagram. This cell is used just to supply the electric current. This key is used here just to close and open the circuit. Then rheostat is used here to control the deflection of the galvanometer. And one more thing is that here sliding jockey is directly connected to the point B of the meter gauge. L1, L2. Now, when this key K is kept closed, then current will flow through the circuit. Then again, one standard value of resistance is taken out from the resistance box. Now, when resistance from the resistance box is taken out, then move the jockey or slide the jockey along the wire AC and try to find a point at which that galvanometer shows the initial deflection. Why this is so? Because here sliding jockey is directly connected to the point B and galvanometer is connected in the left gap of the meter gauge. Therefore, in the open circuit, if the key is kept closed, after closing the circuit, if the key is kept closed, then that galvanometer shows some deflection. That is nothing but the initial deflection. And when the standard value of resistance is taken out from the resistance box, then move the jockey along the wire AC and try to find a initial deflection of the galvanometer. And if that galvanometer shows that deflection, then note the reading. If L1 is the resistance, if L1 is the length of wire AD, L2 is the length of wire DC, then by the principle of Wheatstone's network in balanced condition, we can write G divided by R, then resistance of wire AD divided by resistance of wire CD. Therefore, capital G, that means resistance of galvanometer, capital R, that means resistance which is kept with the help of resistance box, then resistance of wire AD. If sigma is the resistance per unit length of the wire, then resistance of wire AD is nothing but sigma into L divided by resistance of wire CD is nothing but sigma into L2. Therefore, capital G divided by R is equal to L1 by L2, and finally capital G is equal to R into L1 by L2. With the help of this equation, we can determine the value of resistance of galvanometer. This method is also known as Kelvin's method. This method is also known as Kelvin's method. That means with the help of this circuit diagram, with the help of this construction and working, easily we can determine the resistance of galvanometer, and this method is also known as Kelvin's method. So, now we are going to see what is the concept and what is the principle of potentiometer. As like meter gauge, potentiometer, it is also one type of device which always we use in physics lab. Now potentiometer, it consists of one rectangular wooden frame. Now on this wooden frame a several meter length of wire is fixed between 2 points of this rectangular wooden frame, and one meter scale is also fixed along the length of this rectangular wooden frame. With the help of this meter scale, we can measure the distance between any 2 points of the potentiometer wire. Now what is the principle, we'll see. Now according to the concept of potentiometer, we can say that when constant current is passed through the potentiometer wire, when constant current is passed through the potentiometer wire, then the potential difference between any 2 points of the wire is directly proportional to the length of that wire between those 2 points. For example, suppose from point A to B it is a potentiometer wire, then suppose here we have taken one point P, then VAP is the potential difference between point A and P, and if L is the length of that wire between point A and P, then we can say that by the principle of potentiometer, if constant current is passed through the potentiometer wire, then potential difference between these 2 points is directly proportional to the length of that wire between those 2 points. We'll see in detail now. Now for that, we have to draw this diagram. here of cell E, point A. This one is the length of potentiometer wire, or in another we can say that AB, it is a uniform wire of potentiometer. I is the constant current which is flowing through this wire. Now let us consider one point P along the length of this wire. Let capital L is the total length of the potentiometer wire, and small l is the length of wire between point A and P of this potentiometer. Now, if sigma is the resistance per unit length of the wire, what I am telling, if sigma is the resistance per unit length of the wire, then total resistance of potentiometer wire is nothing but resistance per unit length into total length. That means we can write total resistance of potentiometer wire R is equal to sigma into capital L. Give equation 1. If I is the total current passing through the potentiometer wire, then according to Ohm's law, what we can write? V is equal to I into R. Here, V is the potential difference across the two ends of the potentiometer wire. Then we can write V is equal to I into R, and therefore I is equal to V divided by sigma into L. Give it equation number 2. Now let us consider one point P along the length of wire AB. Now small l is the length of wire between point A and P. Let VAP is the potential between point A and point P of the wire. Then what we can write? VAP is nothing but the current flowing through the wire, product of current flowing through the wire into resistance of that wire between these 2 points. If sigma is the resistance per unit length and if L is the length of wire between these 2 points, then we can write resistance of wire between these 2 points, that means the length of wire AP is nothing but sigma into small l. That means VAP is equal to I into sigma into equation number 3. If we put up the value of I in this equation 3, we can write VAP is equal to V divided by sigma into L. Here sigma into small l get cancelled. Therefore VAP is equal to V divided by capital L into small. Now V means total potential difference between two ends of the wire. Capital L, total length of the wire. Now this one is the constant. That constant is known as potential gradient. That means voltage drop per unit length of the wire. Now for that we can use another notification. That means we can write VAP is equal to K into small l. Here K is called as potential gradient. That means voltage drop per unit length of the wire. Then from that equation we can obtain one relation, that means VAP is directly proportional to length. That means from this relation we can make one statement, and that statement is nothing but the principle of potentiometer. If constant current is passed through the potentiometer wire, then the potential difference between any 2 points of the wire is directly proportional to length of that wire between those 2 points. This is about the concept and principle of potentiometer. की पोटॅन्शियोमीटरच्या वायर मधून जर आपण कॉन्स्टंट करंट जर पास केला तर त्या पोटॅन्शियोमीटरच्या वायरच्या कुठल्याही 2 पॉइंट मधलं पोटॅन्शियल हे त्या वायरच्या त्या 2 पॉइंट मधील वायरच्या लेंथला डायरेक्टली प्रोपोर्शनल असेल. आणि म्हणून आपण स्टेटमेंट काय करतो, according to the principle of potentiometer, if constant current is passed through the wire of potentiometer, then the potential difference between any 2 points of the wire is directly proportional to the length of the wire between those 2 points. That means VAP is directly proportional to the length of that wire, and here V by L is nothing but the potential gradient, that means potential drop per unit length of the